Deathwatch.
Crux fidelis inter omnes, arboruna nobilis, nulla talem silva provet, fronde florege.
Welcome to Deathwatch's Call of Cthulhu one-shot. Today we're playing Call of Cthulhu Dark Ages, which is a setting in the Dark Ages. My name is Travis, and I will be your keeper today. And just to set the scene a little bit, our investigative group has arrived in Totborough in search of supplies, while the rest of their party traveled into Danelaw to secure a loan. As you all know, Christians are forbidden from lending or exchanging money. So once your companions return with funding, it will be on to parts unknown. The nucleus of your party is an exorcist named Merwider, a holy man who travels England casting dark spirits from the land and its people. For various reasons, you are bound to him and his quest. As such, you are always on the lookout for signs of the devil's work. And so it is that a crier has called your attention to a situation in Totborough, and you find yourselves in the hall of the Thane Oswin, where dark events begin to unfold. But before we get to that, let's get an introduction from our players today and the character they are playing.
Hello, my name is Justin. I'm playing Leofric, a healer who follows Merwin after a mob tried to murder me when one of my healing potions did not have the desired effect.
I'm Brandon, playing Aethelwolf, a free warrior. Generally doesn't have a bright view of the world, and began following the person whose name I've already forgotten.
Just call him
after
Murder.
He put me in a better mood with one of his potions.
Then it's over to Chris.
Oh, sorry. Thought it was John next. All right. I'm Alpha, the farmer who is very humble upbringing, and I will be doing the peon voice from Warcraft for him.
Nice.
And I'm John, playing Lothar, who's a traveling merchant that had taken up with a hedge witch, and she ended up cursing me, unfortunately. So now I've been roaming the land looking for a cure, and I ran into Leofric, whose remedies do seem to work. So I've decided to tag along until they can restore my once handsome looks.
Yeah, I do want to point out at this moment that Lothar's current appearance is at 15, so he's quite a horrible sight to see.
That's what happens when you've got all these boils and bumps growing out of everywhere.
It's very unfortunate for him.
A curse by the hedge witch. Yeah, anyhow. So as I said, you guys were in the hall of the Thane of Totborough. His name is Oswin. So let's set up the scene a little bit here. You have a bunch of people crowded into this hall. It's a smoky interior. This is just from all the wood fires burning indoors. In fact, the whole town, when you walked in, was, smoke was cloaking the little hollows of the land from the morning fires. And anyhow, here you are in this hall where people are gathered, and they're listening to a pair, a old shepherd by the looks of him, with his daughter, you think, and they're explaining to the Thane what they found at an outlying farm. You catch amongst the talk that it was a man's farm by the name of Eorhelm, and what they're describing is that they found a corpse there. Now, for Oswin's part, he's speaking and trying to calm the people down, and he says this is clearly probably just the work of the outlaw Edric and his Halod, or his group of men. There are some outlaws that trouble these parts. But Oslafa, the daughter of this shepherd, Guthlaf, insists that it wasn't an outlaw. She saw a large wolf. She saw it emerge from the house, blood dripping from its jaws, and she offers up a blood-stained bit of her dress as proof that there was actually blood at the site. But Oswin remains skeptical until yet another person enters the hall and claims to have seen a wolf out near Eorl Helm's farm, and that's where we're at as you guys are listening to all this. So with that stage set, Oswin thinks for a moment, and he orders some of his men to go check on this, but then he raises a glass, and he orders that if a wolf is attacking the area, then a feast should be prepared, and Bayot should be called. Now, if you guys have a cult or own kingdom, you can roll those for me now.
Is it just whatever, sire?
Yeah, whichever one's higher.
Oh. Can I push it?
You think too hard and all your foils pop.
If you want to. Did you actually push it?
I rolled it again.
So what is it, like a extreme misunderstanding? Like a red eagle to some foreigner or something?
I'm thinking of a like a ceremony or a religious thing in some other country.
Yeah, it's
So-
gonna have to be a pretty bad faux pas or something.
Yeah, start offering alternatives. Get myself thrown into some. I don't even know if it would be stockades. Maybe I'll just get
What is it?
sacrificed right away.
This is mostly Christian right now?
Yeah, mostly.
So just praise Ishtar or something. Praise Ishtar.
Yeah, so, well, first we'll start with what Ofa knows. So you know that this is it's an old Anglo-Saxon tradition. It's actually considered pagan by Christians. The Bayot is, and basically what it is it's a sort of ceremonial way of boasting when people are to go out on a quest. So, first, or this Thane has called for the Bayot, so some enterprising warrior or young man will come up and he'll toast and he'll be like, oh, I can do this. Here are my past glories. And then you set the terms of success and failure for your ability to do this. And then the final phase is to call to God for support. And so, yeah, that's what you know. And we're going to say with that fumble on Lothar's part that he actually knows that too. But the faux pas is that you immediately step forward and raise your glass as somebody who's going to take up this quest. But
Oh no!
during your boasting, you're going to use your choice of an old Norse god or an Anglo-Saxon god as your call for support. But we could start with the first phase, Lothar, which is just you shuffle through the crowd with your glass and you start your boasting and recounting of past glories. Did you want to role play that, or maybe leave it to a skill roll?
I'll see if I can role play it. So, having been a traveling merchant, I know that I've probably seen some interesting things. So that's what I'll start, is my wandering or travel across the seas into lands held by what some may know as Romans and their oddities, and some of the. I'm sure some of the pleasures that I've taken of there include hallucinogenics, so I'll start boasting of that as well as the things that I've seen. As I've been to horror lands, and I've seen gods of others rise and fall. As not always to our own, and that's also going to be. I'll offer up a Norse deity for that. As,
Okay. Like a Thor or Odin?
not always to our own, like Thor or the Allfather,
All right.
but to strange gods, weak gods, some say dead gods.
All right, so I'll pause you there, and I'll take an insight roll from the rest of our party as they're, watching Lothar make his boast.
Damn, what is wrong with you? You're a farmer.
Wow, I feel bad knowing that Ofa has a higher
Yeah.
insight than me.
He's a simple farmer.
Yeah.
Watch
Not
as he
so
pays
simple.
attention.
Gotta make sure you don't step on toes. No toes.
Yeah. I think I don't even have that.
It's not.
It's under
Additional.
additional.
Yeah.
Oh, additional.
Jesus.
I'm sleeping on my feet. Tired. Been walking all day.
They don't have cars yet.
Well, at
Is
least
that a
it's not a
fumble?
fumble. No, it's got to
Oh,
be
it's close.
the last 5%.
No,
So
it isn't close.
Push it.
You can't do worse. Well,
I guess you could.
all right, so Ofa, you're looking around and your eye has caught an old man who looks absolutely terrified at this description of this trouble at the farm. And here Oswin the Thane, in this calling of the Bayot, has termed the wolf that is to be hunted a whale wolf, meaning like war wolf in Old English. But at that term, this old man just looks absolutely terrified. So that's sort of something you pick out, like he looks, most people here are excited, but for some reason he looks terrified. And for Leofric's part, what you see is a young priest who is standing at the back of the crowd, who is already sort of seething with anger at the call for Bayot. But when this boaster in your companion starts naming off, Norse gods and whatnot, you can see that his anger is about to become something else.
Leave it to the Christians to overreact.
So let's, I'll leave it, we'll pass it to you, Leofric, if you want to do anything.
No, I've been run out of enough towns that I'm gonna kind of keep myself quiet right now.
we can all take several steps back away from John's character.
Okay. All right. So what that priest ultimately does end up doing then is pushing his way through the crowd and, crying out, "Heretic! Blasphemy! This man must not speak any longer. This ritual must be ended. This is pagan." And he's got his cross in his hand and he's sort of brandishing it at the crowd. And you can see that the crowd was not too disturbed by what Lothar was saying. After all, most of them probably still have some pagan, stuff in their home or whatnot. They're still sort of connected to that. But with this call by the young priest, you can see all those types of people in the crowd that are just waiting to point a finger at somebody, regardless of what it's about. Sort of their ears perk up and they kind of give Lothar an appraising look. But we'll hold it there for a moment if anybody wants to do anything. For now, the Thane Oswin is just watching.
It's not my place to do anything. I'm a simple farmer.
Is get his name again? The guy that we're following.
Merwider?
Merwider. Is Merwider with us?
No, so you guys had come here just to get some simple supplies while they had traveled into the part of England that's called Danelaw. It's controlled by, different Viking groups to secure some more funding, since they're really the only people you can get loans from that are in close proximity.
Okay. He would have been the one that I would have kind of pushed towards, saying something.
But it's just you four.
Yeah. So no, I'll keep quiet.
Ethelwolf?
As can I? I guess the next part I want to do is more of a leave it up to a skill roll, but I really want to push my luck with this guy.
Okay.
When we get to that point.
All right. Well, if I was just given an opportunity for somebody else to interject, but that doesn't look like it will happen. So yeah, we can leave it up to you. So he's cut you off in the middle of your call to various Norse gods for support, and he's gathered the crowd's attention. What would you like to do at that point?
Well, and again, I'll leave it up to the skill roll this time, but is basically just I guess we'll start more mocking the fact that his god was isn't known for his great feats of strength. It was more for his ability to, or more for his peacefulness. As what does a Christian know about about great feats of strength, basically.
So you're going to mock Christ?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm an Old Norse trader, man.
Let's
I
see.
will take steps away from.
Let's see. I'm trying to. Well, it is kind of an appeal to people who keep to the old ways, or the degree to which they do that. So,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? Like a charm,
Yeah.
or do you
either,
have
like-
another skill in mind?
So I've got fast talk. I could go fast talk, charm, or I don't know if persuade would really be the option for it.
I will say that you do have the time to work a persuade in this case, if that's the
Okay.
higher skill for you.
My fast talk would be higher.
I don't see a fast talk unless you can
As
explain
my-
the angle to me.
Yeah, my persuade would be higher than my charm, though.
All right, well let's try persuade.
Nope.
Do you
Push
want to
it.
use luck or
Push it. I don't have any luck. That's why I got to push it.
Okay.
All right. So, terms of failure.
Stoning.
Okay, so you see some big, farmers or maybe a smith in the crowd that kind of have that glint in their eye at this call of heretic sort of move towards the front. They're flexing their hands, just waiting for the word to grab a hold of you. So you can see that's what you're risking.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Always push.
Is threatened with violence worth it?
Well done. Extreme success. So yeah, you speak your piece, the insult to Christ. And against all odds, it seems to have a good effect, particularly on the Thane, Oswin, who had been seated during the boasting and this priest coming forward. But now he stands and he says, "Well stated. I did not get your name at the beginning. What was it?"
I am Leo. I'm not Leo Frick. Who am I? Hold on.
Lothar.
I'm Lothar, Lord Thane.
But you should go easy, man. We are all Christians here. And he kind of nods to the priest, who's still angry at this point, but he's like, "I accept your boast. A sword and a horse to the man that gives me the head of the whale wolf." And
It's
at
all,
this stage, people's attention are kind of away from you. They've kind of calmed down a little bit.
Okay, I was gonna say with that, I'll try and shrink back into the crowd now.
Yeah, you are kind of saved by another man. He also has the look of a Viking who comes to make his boast. So it appears that you will have competition in finding this wolf. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you fade back into the crowd towards your companions, and you've now given oath bound yourself to a hunt of a wolf.
And I'll be more well now that I'm into it, is I've got to put on the face of that I meant to do it the entire time. So I'll boast loudly of how long it will take me, or how short a time it'll take me to find this wolf and bring the head to the Thane.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
while trying to drink as much as possible.
Before you got to get out of town.
Yeah.
Most people, when they see what you look like, they kind of move back from you. So you're able to make it through the crowd pretty good and get next to your companions. Now, for the rest of you, this isn't outside of your guys' wheelhouse. You have been doing this with Merwider for a while. In most cases, tracking down evil in the land amounts to very little. So you suppose this is yet another quest in driving the darkness out of the land. So I'll give you guys a moment to confer and figure out what you're going to do next.
Well, I think we should probably start at the place where this all began, in the Cub's Den.
As a healer, I'm looking to, kind of look at the body, the corpses that were recovered to get an idea of what actually killed them.
Okay. So to the farm then. What are your thoughts, Ethelwolf?
Yeah, that's where I think we should look.
What do your Satan eyes tell you? I read your bio. What do you see?
We'll likely find evidence of the devil's work, or perhaps older, darker spirits.
All right. Seems like we're on the right track then. As Ofa, what is our success rate of finding what we need here?
Oh, what would that be? Okay. Real good, me lord.
Perfect. Let's go onward.
Okay, so to the farm, a few questions for where Aor Helm's farm is located. Give you the directions and that it's about a day's walk to the west of Totborough. So we'll set you guys on that path.
I'll roll my navigate.
I'll roll his navigate.
It's this way. Follow me.
I think it's actually this way. Look, there's a sign that even says farm this way.
Oh, man. I was thinking about writing a journal for Ofa, and it just being like when I was like 3, and I'd try to write cursive when I didn't know how to spell at all. And it was just a bunch of squiggles, and handing that to Travis.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys, did you want to pick up anything on your way out of Totborough, or just
Do
past
we have,
the gate?
like ration stuff?
Yeah, as far as that goes, you guys, I mean, you were looking to purchase more for longer journeys, but for a day's ride or probably even a week's ride, you're probably okay. So as far as food
Do I
goes.
have a staff or anything?
No, you could get one if you want, though.
I should probably get one for defense.
Okay, let me see if I have a...
Go pick up a stick, me lord. Off the ground. You can even make it pointy.
But they've already got them right here.
Seeing if I had a easy sort of club I could drag over to you. Okay, one sec here. We'll give you a large club. Not a baseball bat or cricket bat or poker. It's just like a walking stick, we'll say.
Okay.
A shillelagh.
Right.
Now I'm ready to go and vanquish this
Foe?
warwolf
Werewolf.
or wellwolf.
All right.
Is
So you guys set off from Totborough to the west, and you pass through outlying farms and people going about doing their Dark Ages work. About this time of year, you see lots of threshing, so they're just beating piles of harvest.
In the mud.
Yeah, there's a slap in the mud.
Hitting
Somebody's
the water
there.
with a stick. Yeah.
Right.
That's what they did. I'll go push one of them over.
Sorry, my lord. Bless you.
hey, the wolf, quit playing with the peasants.
That's what you do. You got to repress them.
It's very true, me lords.
I'll push Ofo.
Sorry, me lord. Didn't mean to bump into you.
Ofa, keep up.
Yes, me lord.
Okay, so... Oh, go ahead.
I'll take the lead because these guys can't fight worth a damn. So
No, I can't.
Right.
So I'm not even using the walking stick correctly.
he's got it sideways.
Yeah.
He's trying to use it like an oar. He's trying to row.
Okay, so as the day wears on and nightfall approaches, you come to the outskirts of Aor Helm's farm. And from a distance, besides the scattered livestock, you don't see any disturbance. But there you are on its outskirts. You can see it's just one daub and wattle farmhouse with the door splintered open, you realize, as you approach. And Ethelwolf is taking the lead here. So what's your move, Ethelwolf?
So, do I say that again? Do I see any people?
No signs of people, although you did expect to see 2 of the Thane's men here, as he
Right.
dispatched one prior to the Bayotes.
And you said like the door is slightly open.
Smashed open.
Okay. And then can I tell, is there like any light coming in or coming from in there?
No light, but as you're, crossing the field, you do see a shape lying in the doorway that you are
Okay.
pretty sure is a body.
And what time is it?
The sun is fading, so
All right.
it's almost night.
All right. So yeah, I'll slowly, I'll unlimber my axe and I'll slowly approach the body or the shape I see in the doorway.
Okay. So you see a man lying there, his body broken, still gripping a wood axe, and he's in between the inside of the house and the outside of the house. And when you step up to him, you can see that his chest is crushed. Like there's a big depressed area right in the middle of his chest where it doesn't look right. And I assume at this point you're probably carrying a torch or something. So you see another corpse on the inside of the building slumped against the wall.
All right. So yeah, I'll turn back to my companions and say there's dead bodies here. And it's really bad luck for a body to be laying half in and half out like that, so I'll drag that one all the way out onto the porch.
Okay.
That's a bad omen.
So for a regular corpse, you don't have to worry too much about the sanity loss. You guys, Dark Ages investigator comes across corpses a little bit more often than a 1920s one.
I think the average peasant does.
Right.
Yeah.
But the one inside is in a little bit different state. It's a woman slumped against the wall, and she's torn open from neck to navel, her intestines spilling across the floor. So
Can I use occult to see if I can tell if this is like a ritual thing?
Well, yeah, if you're going to gather in and look at the body, let's do the sanity roll first.
Oh, I'll probably fail. Yeah, I failed that.
And I'm going to take a look at the bodies too, see if I
Okay.
can diagnose anything. Yeah.
I'm going to stay outside. I'm going to look first at the sky. No, I was going to do that anyway because Ofa doesn't want to get near any bodies.
Well, you
But I'm
probably
gonna
do notice that his flock, like his, they're going to wander off eventually if they're not, corralled back up.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, I was going to look at first the sky and then the ground, but now that I notice his flock is unattended, I'll try to corral them while they're
Okay.
off doing that. Don't want them getting away.
All right, so what? Everybody
call,
failed their
Ufa.
sanity roll?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you must have put on some setting that makes us fail.
Yeah.
That's my preferred setting. All right, so you all lose
for
1d4
Ofa.
sanity.
That's animal
Points.
handling.
Do you say 1d4?
Still.
Yes.
Jeez.
Woohoo.
Yeah, well, if that's the way you want a game master, that's fine.
Not
You
It's
judging
old
you.
school, Brandon.
turned the max setting off, Travis.
You die. That's the max game master, keeper style. All right,
yeah.
so nobody has any temporary bout of madness or anything, but you are unsettled, and you can pick up a few details that make it all the more unsettling. Is that in her right hand, it's covered with like a black ichor, right? Like it's covering her hand down to the wrist, and the other hand has bloody swaddling blanket. This would be the child that was mentioned being carried away in the wolf of the mouth. And but now Leofric can get his closer look, so you can go ahead and throw out your medicine or first aid.
Can I do the occult thing as well?
Yeah, just a sec. So yeah, Leofric, you can tell that it's not a blade that has cut this woman open.
Well, kind of point things, I'll say, if you look, the jaggedness of these wounds means that this was not done by a blade, but rather by some form of claw or tooth. It checks with the story of a wolf.
Yeah, so Lothar, that occult thing, trying to see if this was some sort of ritualistic killing, what Leofric just said kind of puts that off the table. Elsewhere in the room, you can see the cradle where this infant would have slept. It's overturned. There's no sign of the child there. You can all make out large dog-like footprints in the mud outside of the house. And there are deep gouges on the outside of the door. Now, as far as what Opha's doing, since he's such a expert farmer, with your hard success there, you managed to calm them down and get them moved back to the pen. So this is a pair of oxen, but mostly goats and sheep.
Okay.
So
is there pretty easy to follow trails from here? Or I guess, so insight covers spot hidden now as well?
no, spot hidden is still spot hidden.
Okay. Can I do that and just see if there's anything that I think would be out of place?
Yeah, go ahead. In fact, you all can if you're doing a deeper investigation of the area.
Should I push it?
Can I have, well, I guess I'll see about having, Ethelwolf help me lay the bodies out in a way that I can examine them a little bit better and, see if I can find any clues on them, like if there's any hair, wolf hair, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I'll help
then-
him do that.
Spot
go ahead.
hidden, or
Yeah, go ahead and do some spot hiddens.
Okay.
Well, we could stay with your first aid, Justin, because you'll be able to pick up more. That'll just cover your examination of the bodies, and you had
Okay.
that success. But I'll take a spot hidden from Ethelwolf, and I suppose one from Opha while you're gathering the last of the flock.
All right.
Nice. He knows what a farmer
I
Yeah.
knew this is
supposed
how
to
the
have.
farmer was going to be. I knew
Commoner
it.
OP.
Okay, so let's see. Let's start with Leofric. So the thing that disturbs you is, while a wolf could conceivably tear a woman from neck to navel, the crushing blow on the man, that just looks like it was one blow to his chest, and you're having a difficult time imagining a regular-sized wolf. Of course, it was described as a large wolf doing that, but, perhaps, some demonic wolf would be large enough and have enough power to cave a man's chest in like that with one blow. And then we have a bunch of failures elsewhere. Except for Opha. All right, so Opha, you pick up near the tree line where you're gathering that last errant sheep. You see a faint blood trail that's intermixed with animal tracks. You think they're wolf tracks because your father was a woodsman after all, and you know the different animals that are in the forest in England. So, but they're large, they're huge wolf tracks. But there's also a blood trail that's intermixed with it as it heads to the east. But another thing that catches your eye is up in the branches of one of these trees, you see the corpse of a hound, probably the farmer's hound, is like tangled up amongst the branches up there.
That's odd. Guess I'm gonna follow this blood trail. So I'll start following the blood trail.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow with your torch because it is bleeding intermittently. So even if you lose the tracks, you can pick up on the blood every now and then glistening in torchlight, but it keeps going off to the east. And I suppose for the rest of you looking out like Ethelwolf, you would see Opha's torchlight disappearing into the tree line.
So he's just wandering off by himself.
Kind of looks that way.
Say, I can go after him if I notice it. Say, these farmers just wander off in the middle of a, what is this thing called that we're doing? Bay
bayou?
something.
Oh yeah, the bay.
Yeah, wander off in the middle of a bayou. You can never trust them, and I'll start heading off in that direction.
Who herds
Just
the
walk up
herdsman?
and push me.
Yeah.
Where are you going, dummy?
'Cause, well, unless I end up spotting the blood trail, and then I'll push him and be like, guys, I found a blood trail over here.
Yes, you're able to catch up to him because he's moving somewhat slowly to follow that trail, but he just seems to be wholly absorbed in his task on the ground.
You want me to do another, or would I do another spot hidden to see if I could see what he's looking at?
Sure.
Nope. I'll just have to ask him. I'll cuff him. Boy, what are you looking at?
What? Oh, my lord. Blood.
Do
I
I
was-
see it now?
I was
Yeah, when
walking, herding up all the cattle, and there was a hound in the tree, a corpse of one, and there was blood. So I was following the blood.
Oh, well, Good man, lead on.
Oh,
Blood. We'll follow the blood.
yes, my lord. I'll start
And I'll
following the blood
heft
again.
My,
Okay.
heft
So-
my club.
Leofric and Ethelwolf, you now see 2 points of light disappearing into the tree line. But both of you give me a listen roll, the people back in the house.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Thank you for cuffing me, my lord.
Oh wow.
Holy crap.
Oh, damn it.
All right.
Yes, good man.
So there's a loud clatter and a crash, and then a dark shape moves from somewhere within the house towards you. Both of you give me a sanity roll.
Oh no.
It's safer out here in the woods, my lord.
Yes,
It's
it
only a wolf.
is.
All right, there's no sanity loss, but you each have an involuntary action. And Leofric, you just jump back in surprise and slip in the mud and fall down on your back. But Aethelwolf, you're a little bit more guarded, so you lash out with that axe of yours. Would you please roll some axe damage for me?
I'm gonna kill a kid,
It was
probably.
the baby. Yep.
Darting from shadow to shadow like babies do.
They're medieval babies.
Dark Ages babies.
That's how they moved. They couldn't.
We're real fast when we're younger, my lord.
Toddler
I
comes shooting
see.
out of the shadows at high speed.
So
This is how they protected themselves.
Too late, you realize this is not some fell beast, but a man. And by the time you realize that you've swung your axe and buried it, this would deal a major wound to him. So you've buried it into his chest. It may not be fatal, that depends. But he just kind of looks at you with a shocked look on his face. A few other details you pick out just by the way he's dressed is that he's probably a slave that works this farm. And anyhow, he takes a few steps back in shock, and I don't know if you keep a hold of your axe because it'll either stay in him if your hands are numb with shock, or if you have a warrior's grip on it, then he kind of frees himself with a sickening suction sound and stumbles a few steps back and slumps against the wall, breathing heavily.
Yeah, I would hang on to it, but then I'll be like, "What are you lurking about in the dark?" And I'll go,
Typical slave.
I'll shout for,
Medak.
yeah,
Seeing that it's a man and that he's grievously wounded, I'll jump to his aid.
Yeah, so you get up out of the mud there and scramble back in. And in your case, Ethelwolf, you have seen men survive such blows. It really depends on fate. But you can go ahead and roll out that first aid for me, Leofric, as you start looking over his body. Very well done.
Nice.
Extreme
Nice.
success.
I'm used to dealing with Ethelwolf's woundings of random strangers.
Well, he sees Satan in everything, and so what do you expect? The devil comes rushing out the house, he's going to kill it.
But as I treat him, I'll chastise the man for not announcing his presence before jumping out of the shadows.
Yeah, he seems to be in a state of shock, maybe from something before and now from the axe wound in his chest. But he's just sort of repeating that he saw the wolf. He saw the wolf. It took the little one. I saw the wolf. And it might take a little bit more coaxing. I mean, you've staunched the bleeding, but there's the
Push him
wound in
over.
his mind that needs to be dealt
The
with.
shock.
Yeah.
Oh, cuff him. That works.
This isn't the 1920s. We can't just slap him.
Yeah, you haven't
It's
figured out
even
slap
worse.
tech.
Yeah, he's a slave, and he's not answering your questions.
Hitting works just fine in this era, me lord. Just don't use
Yep.
an open hand. Closed fist.
That's the technique of the day.
Gets the neurons firing.
No, I'm probably more just
Tell
desperate
him
to
you'll
keep him
punch
from
him in his
dying.
gaping wound if he doesn't answer your questions.
Yeah, you could try a social skill to calm him down if you'd like, or Ethelwolf could.
I could give a charm a shot.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want me to come and appraise him?
Now there, the wolf is gone. But that doesn't work. Your words don't seem to have an effect on him, unless you want to push it.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to push it.
All right, so we'll pause in the house there and go back to our forest crew, Lothar and Opha, as they're following these tracks. And now that he's pointed them out to you, Lothar, you can see that the prints on the ground are quite large, which is troublesome. But for those of you with a spot hidden or track skill, if you want to throw it out for me again.
Where would track be under?
It's in alphabetical, so it's T. It's like right above additional.
Oh, for the simple
Okay,
master of
spot
all
hidden.
skills.
Yeah, indeed he is.
Don't worry, me lord. I found it.
Yeah,
So-
I'll point out something completely wrong and be like, yes, look at this.
Good job, me lord.
and then, oh, yes, Sofa, good job.
Thank you, me lord.
So yeah, you you pick up where the prints of two men, you think, at least their boot prints, have intersected with this wolf track and started following it as well. So you're picking
Looks
those
like-
up.
Looks like there's some people following the wolf other than us.
That's probably the Thanes men.
Oh, right you are, me lord. Wolf's pretty big, me lord.
As I'll heft my club, wishing that it was a spear, and say, don't worry, Opha, as if that wolf comes around, as I've killed worse than its lot before.
Wow, you're very
Is there a
brave, me lord.
bluff?
All right.
So it was probably just like a hallucination that I killed something like that.
All right, back in the house, Ethelwolf, you have seen men wounded in battle, so you know being in a state of shock. You've seen what that looks like. Now, Leofric has tried to calm the man down, but to no success. Did you want to attempt anything in that regard?
Yeah, I don't think I have any skills that might calm him down besides intimidate. So
Do it.
I'll try that.
Okay. What's your angle?
Well, tell him if he doesn't calm down, I'll finish him off, so I don't have to hear all the racket.
All right, throw it out.
Jesus. Nice.
Nice, congratulations. So
I'll
that
basically tell him I'll give him something to cry about.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you maybe mildly annoyed at Leofric's baby talking him. You go the hard way and threaten him, which actually does seem to cut through the worst of his shock, and his eyes focus on you for a moment. And he stops muttering about this huge wolf. What do you guys do from that point?
Well, once I get him stabilized, then I suppose we could try asking him some questions.
Okay.
Where did the wolf go?
He points out the door off to the east, and then you realize you don't see the points of light that were Opha and Lothar's torches anymore. The ones that you were about to call out to them, but then the man burst from out of a closet, basically, where he was hiding.
Yeah, so then I'll curse and say, "Oh, they've wandered off. We better catch them before they get
I'm
lost."
sure they'll come back.
Well, bar the door behind me. Oh, there isn't one. Good luck.
Yes, I'll see what I can do with this man
Start
here.
stacking the bodies in front of the door.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I'll grab up a torch and run off after these two.
okay. So, Leofric, you've already done your first aid and staunched the bleeding now. It's just bandaging from that point on, but it will take a little bit of time. So we'll just leave you
Okay.
hanging in limbo there.
Yeah.
And we'll have Ethelwolf go out into the woods where he saw those torches, where the slave pointed the wolf had gone. And when you get out there, you can give me another spot hidden roll, or track if you have it.
Nice.
Okay. Also give me a luck roll.
Well, now that's not going to be very lucky for me, is it? Because I don't have very good luck.
You rolled it.
Oh, man.
You should have 25 luck. You were supposed to fill it in based off of the luck roll we did at the beginning, but was it 35?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
45 then, John, right?
So the good news is, a wet glint from your torchlight catches your eye and you pick up that bloody trail. You even see a big paw print there. The bad news is something dark falls seemingly from the sky on you. Give me a sanity roll.
Nice. Oh, man, you're sane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it whatever the shape is, it kind of falls on your shoulder and it's like draped over you, and you free yourself from it really quick, and you see it's just a dead dog, a dead hound
Put it back on your shoulder.
apparently fell from a tree. But as you examine it, you can see it has that black ichor on its teeth, but it looks like a knife blade caused the animal's wounds. The same black substance you saw in the dead woman's hand.
All right. So it's not generally known that hounds climb trees. So I'll look up and see how come he fell out of a tree.
Okay. So what you see is just a tree. You can see where he was sort of twisted up in there. There's a few broken branches and where the blood was leaking out of his body. If you were to put together what you think had maybe happened is it got thrown up into the tree and, just stayed there until this moment to drop on you. Because Ofa saw it and it didn't fall on him. What I was hoping is that you'd fail your sanity roll and hit it with your axe again.
Okay. So,
But you still have the trail, and you have a regular spot hidden. You're not picking up the light from that point, so you can attempt to follow that trail, which is pretty easy, or you could strike out in a different direction.
no, I'll follow the trail. I'll just assume they were also following it.
All right, let's see how you fare as far as speed goes. Go ahead and give me a Constitution roll.
Nice.
Right, so you're able to gain ground on them, and eventually you see their torchlights, bobbing in the darkness, flickering as they move behind the tightly knitted trees and what have you. Or at least you assume it's them. What's your play?
Um,
Dart from tree to tree and jump out at us.
Fall from the trees and land on our shoulders.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll call them.
That dog gave me an idea.
Well, basically call them idiots and shout for them to hold up.
All right, so Lothar and Ofa, you hear a call from who you recognize to be Ethelwolf. He's cursing you guys. And
Yeah, I'll call them Eldhusfiful,
what's that?
which apparently means hearthfire idiot. An idiot who sits by the fire all day. A good for nothing.
Sounds about right, me
We're
lord.
wandering
Yeah.
off into the forest at nighttime when there's a giant wolf throwing dogs in trees. Come on, we got to get back to that house.
It's a real big wolf, me lord.
'Cause, we also found, I also found the tracks of the two men the Thane sent. Is there on the hunt or on the trail of the wolf as well?
I'll be
Wow.
nodding when he's saying this.
Well, we can't
I'm
be split
a
up
wealthy
like this.
merchant. I've got to take credit.
Can
We
I
left
try
one
to
of our
determine?
companions back at the house.
Oh, right, you are, me lord.
Oh,
What do you two
can I-
think you're going to do if you find this giant wolf?
I'll heft my club again.
I'll point to Lothar. Can I try to determine how big this wolf is?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me your natural world. Let's try that one, because you could probably surmise how high the wolf stands at the shoulder based on
Oh.
the tracks you've
Rolled
been
twice.
seeing.
He
So I-
got a success on his first one, though.
Yeah.
Well, since you have a 50 or above, that's not a fumble. But I see your first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It rolled twice.
Yeah, so that's the thing you've been working over in your mind, because if you're correct in your guess by the wolf prints you've been seeing, by the how far apart the two sets of feet are or paws,
Mhm.
that this thing would stand, 6, 7, or 8 feet high at the shoulder.
Oh, how tall am I?
That's up to you.
Oh, it doesn't show. All right. So, are we I'll be kind of standing there and I'll be kind of scratching my head. I'll be like, I've been thinking, me lords, this wolf, and I'll kind of hold my hand up over my head. I'll be like that. My accent's changing, by the way.
'Cause, maybe we should go
become
get
Opha, the
Leo
fifth
Frick. We
beetle.
don't want the wolf to double back and get him.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah. Speaking of Leofric, so you're tending to this man, which gives you the opportunity to ask him a few questions if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll just kind of see if I can get him to say anything about what happened. Where he was when the wolf first attacked. Why did it, if he has any idea why, would it attack their farm?
Yeah, so he launches into the required halting narration in every Lovecraftian story about what happened from his point of view. But the gist of it is that he was further afield tending to farm work when the attack happened. And by the time he got back, he saw the wolf with the baby boy, Inric, in its jaws, departing to the east. And terrified, he hid in the closet, but he heard some other men pick through the house and then leave a short while later. And then again, another set of men. And then finally, it came to you guys.
Okay.
So that was two sets of people. He didn't get a look at him because he was just huddled there in the closet, but he's pretty certain that he heard two men come shortly after the attack, two men come a long while later, and then shortly after those two men, you guys arrived.
And why did you not reveal yourself to these men?
I was terrified. I thought you guys had left. I heard some people leaving, and that's why I came out, but then I thought I heard a noise as I was about to leave, so I just decided to bolt for it, and that's when I ran into your friend's axe. Sorry about that. My fault.
Were there any others here at the
Knows
farm
his place.
when the wolf attacked?
It was just the Lord, I forget his name now, Eorhelm, and his wife, Anjafu, and the
Okay.
boy, of course, Inric.
I don't suppose you saw any of the men that came before us?
No, my lord.
Very well. Take your ease.
All right, so back out in the forest, Ethelwolf's trying to talk some sense into this pair, and Opha's just revealed that this wolf that you guys have been tracking, by his estimation, is quite a large wolf. What were you guys going to do?
Well, like I said, that prompted me to be concerned for Leofric. In reality, I
Run away.
really don't want to, face a wolf that size with just a club. So I'm seconding the opinion that we should not leave Leofric alone, lest
Lord,
the
you are,
wolf
my
double
lord.
back.
Kind and caring. Very Christian of you.
As I'll nod and push over again.
Oh, can I have the slave start setting a fire and lighting any candles or anything like that? Just like in the heart.
hole in his chest.
Right, you are.
I know,
Axe
but he's a
there's
slave.
no reason to be laying
Yeah.
about because he's literally.
Nice.
Yeah, I've staunched the wound. This is what he does.
You are well now. Make me a fire.
It's not our lot to be lazy, me lord.
Yeah, so
Oh, it's
he's
great.
struggling a little bit to move the his left hand. Like you can see, there's some sort of damage that's been done by the attack.
tendon's been severed.
So he's trying to do all this one-handed, but eventually he does get a fire going. And but what was the decision from the forest crew? Are you guys going to head back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a decision.
All right, so
Lothar has made the wise and brave decision that we need to go back to the house to protect. Was it
Leofric.
Leofric, yep.
All right, so yeah, you do see when you guys arrive, you see that there's a fire glimmering in the interior of the home, but nothing's out of the ordinary when you come up to the door, except Leofric has this wounded slave making him tea and everything else.
Is there any ale? I'll ask him.
Oh, give me a luck roll.
Oh.
But while he's doing that, I'll be kind of taking a look at the black ichor that was on the woman.
Okay, so you could roll natural world, or pretty much anybody who is curious about it could roll natural world
no.
or what?
There you go.
Oh no.
Oh, he came inside.
Looks
and
like he
saw
rolled
the
sanity
woman.
though. Oh right.
Yeah, because I came
Okay.
inside the house.
Yeah, and you
Nice.
well, they had been drug out, I believe, to the exterior by Ethelwolf and Leofric. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't
So
matter.
you-
I'll see him soon enough.
Yeah. So it's a 1d4 sand loss there, Ofa.
As your sanity is quite high.
Do you have an idea for his involuntary action? Is it you-
I don't know. I think we'll figure it out when it happens.
Okay, so we'll say that you just start praying, calling out like on your knees, hands and knees type praying for a moment, for the Almighty's protection
Okay.
upon sight of that woman. Okay, let's see. So Leofric,
Slave, move the bodies. Can't you see you're frightening Ofa?
you have never encountered anything in the world that's like this black ichor, but if you have to make a guess, you would say that it's maybe blood. You're not even sure, because if you were to compare notes with the rest of the people who were out tracking the wolf, it was red blood that they were tracking, not this black ichor. So you're not sure what it is. It's some sort of different substance, but it was also on
You
the
think
dog.
It could be used to treat my curse.
Yeah, possibly.
Do you want to try
I
it?
think lead and mercury will do that too, me lord. So go for it.
I don't know, but maybe you should keep some of it so we can experiment with it later.
Well, yeah.
Definitely an unknown substance to you, and you have a wider knowledge of substances than the rest of your party as you experiment with different things. The
And this
voices aren't really saying anything about it, though.
Okay. And this was just on her hands. It wasn't like
It was on
splattered all
one
over
hand.
her.
One hand.
On one hand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll look for anywhere else where it might be in the house as well.
Okay. Nothing new reveals itself as you're looking around in that way. You don't see any more of that substance
Okay.
around the house. So what is your guys' plan then from this point? We'll say you've probably
Well-
been looking around for maybe a couple hours, so you could probably put out a medicine roll, Leofric, for that
For
slave.
healing man.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Do you think that a wolf the size that Ofa is reporting would be able to crush someone's chest like that?
Well, yeah, that was what Leofric was thinking separately, is that if it were to be a blunt force from the wolf, it would have to be pretty large. But I don't know that if he stated that out loud when he was doing his initial examination.
Yeah, I'll be keeping that in mind. I won't really say it out loud yet, but also kind of looking at the door, trying to gauge whether or not the door would be big enough to fit a wolf that size through it.
Well, you actually do see a small clump of gray fur wedged into a splinter in the door frame, so it was an awful tight fit.
Okay.
Might only need to get its head in, me lord.
We should find a spear. As I'll ask the slave if there were any. Did the what was his name? Jensen? I don't know what his name is. The dude that lived here before. Did he have any spears?
Luck roll. He didn't get it on the ale.
Damn it!
Nope. He kind of shakes his head. We didn't have any weapons here, or not things that were specifically weapons. You could find a wood axe.
What about a
Or a pitchfork.
Pitchfork, yeah.
Yeah.
And say we could probably use that in a pinch, or even just the haft of it if needed.
Yeah, he can. He'll hobble away and fetch it for you real quick if you wish him to, or he can give you
Yes.
directions.
Oh, I'm not about to go and do manual labor when we got a slave around.
Okay, so yeah, he does return with that pitchfork for you. It's pretty long. It will fall outside of the, what do you call it? The brawl skill. It'll actually use the spear skill.
Can I use my farming skill at a penalty to use farming implements as a weapon?
Sure, I'll allow it. We'll put one penalty on it.
Nice.
Are you handing it to Ofa?
Goes to Ofa then.
Okay. Let me
here,
drag that
you'll
in
need
there.
this to protect yourself.
Thank you, me lord.
All right.
Well, we're gonna get slaughtered by this thing, whatever it is.
Once they're back, I'll also tell them what the slave had said about there being not one group of men that came, but two. One shortly after the wolf, and then another group that came a while after.
So maybe bandits. As we found tracks. I'm sorry, I found tracks that followed the wolf prints and the blood as off in the forest. So it could either be bandits. I had assumed that it was the Thane's men who were following the tracks, but it could still be.
Well, perhaps there is someone that summoned this wolf, that brought this wolf down upon these poor people.
I mean, like witchcraft.
Yes, it is the
I'll
realm
waste
that
my
we deal in.
trousers. I've dealt with their like before.
Sorry, Chris, 1 sec here. I'm just writing that skill in for you. What is your farmer? 76? Just remember it starts at penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Close that out. Okay, so you guys discuss this issue for a little while. So what, if you're to hold to now being bound to the bayout, what's going to be the plan then for getting this wolf?
Well, we need to track it, and if there's witches, I'll take care of them. Not really. But now that it's been put out there,
was just code
we need to track it
you were
and
going
see
to
if this
have
is
sex with them.
a summoned creature. We bring the head of the summoners, or if it's a real creature, now that Ofa's got a spear, we can take it.
I thought you were just talking in code about the witches and you were actually just going to lay with them.
Well, that's,
Yeah,
what
that's
it
what he
was
meant.
going to be. Yeah, you were on the right track.
Slow.
So did you want to shack up here and wait for dawn to set out on these tracks, or immediately?
Oh,
We shouldn't be trying to track it at nighttime.
I agree with that, especially a wolf that big. Because if it's a summoned creature, the dawn will banish it. I know these things. See?
Yeah, that was kind of why I had the slave start a fire, as I figured we were staying here tonight.
Okay.
You should have had him fetch some ale, too.
I can't have him fetch something that doesn't exist here.
Well, it's in the town. I mean,
Okay. So you guys going to shack up inside the farmhouse? Where do you want to be?
on the roof.
You can reach
The
the roof.
safest place. Up in the rafters. Well, should we look at putting something in front of the door?
Yeah, we need to fortify that door there.
Well,
Is there
door
like a
didn't-
cabinets or something?
Didn't the door get basically destroyed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have
that's
to
what I'm saying.
repair it.
You put it in front of put something else in front of it to just block it.
Yeah, you guys have a new skill, the repair devise /devise skill, where you could use that to
Obviously, I could do this.
shore it up if somebody or all of
Nice.
you want to work at that. Oh,
I'm good for something here.
well done, Lothar. So yeah, you probably are just able to get the door back in there and shore it up. It doesn't open the way it did before, but it definitely keeps something from the outside coming to the inside easily.
Nail it shut.
And are you all going to sleep?
Well, I'll try to stay on guard if they ask me to, but I'll probably go to sleep.
Okay.
Should we have the slave watch while we sleep?
Oh, I don't see any reason why not. I'm just be healing.
Yeah.
So is that what you guys are going to do? His name is, let me get it for you. He gives you his name finally as Ilhaf.
I think that I would at least understand the importance of a watch being a merchant. So I will say that we should. In troubled territory, you don't trust the luck of your goods to the gods.
Wise words, me lord. I've been thinking, kind of weird. Don't you think that the wolf passed up all that cattle?
Well, it just goes to show that it's a demon or maybe a fairy.
It's
in
clearly the
disguise.
work of Satan.
Or a fairy in disguise.
My eyes will go real big. And I'll start praying before I go to bed. I do that anyway, but I'll do it doubly so.
Double prayer.
You get 2 prayers tonight.
Thank you, me lord.
All right.
Yeah, now that he brought it up, that is really weird.
Likes to taste the baby flesh. So who's going to be our, or I guess if we're on doing a watch, who's going to be doing the watch and in what order?
I will take part in this watch. I will take the first one.
Yeah, I'll take the one after that.
Okay.
I'll take the
No one
last
gives me
watch.
an order. Yeah, if no one gives me an order, I'm not doing.
All right, so we'll start with a group luck roll. So that's going to be Brandon, since he has the lowest luck. Ethelwolf. All right, thank you for the failure. And then the watch people can make their own luck roll individually.
To make up for his failure.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
Well, no one made it out alive.
And I don't suppose I can use luck to make that.
No.
Oh,
Push it?
Just
Can you
becomes
push
a
it?
downward spiral, Justin.
but it's
Yeah.
possible that. Well, what was Ethelwolf's roll? Nope, he had a regular failure. You had a regular failure. Okay, so this occurred. Were you part of the watch? Yeah, you're the last one, Leofric.
Yeah.
All right, so this is in the hours before dawn, but go ahead and give me a listen roll while the others sleep quietly.
Yeah.
Just the sounds of soft snoring.
We're all going to die.
Yep. You're sitting there humming to yourself.
All right, so the way that homes are built, because they don't have, they can't burn artificial light all the time, is they're usually built with a east-facing window and a west-facing window, so that they can maximize the sunlight from the day. And it is at the east-facing window that you think you hear something, maybe something scratching at the outside. You're not entirely sure.
Okay. Sun's still down, right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll get up and I will go stand a little bit closer to the window, see if I can hear anything or see anything out there. I'm not going to stick my head out the window or anything like that,
Right.
but kind of cautiously and fearfully.
I'm making an assumption that you guys threw the shutters and, wound up the cord or whatever holds them closed from being blown
Okay.
open by the wind. And, as you creep to it, there's a significant gap between the two end parts of the shutter. So you have maybe, a little bit less than a half-inch gap that you can sort of look out and see into the night, which is dreadfully dark, but you do see it is nearly a full moon, so there is a good bit of light. You're starting to pick out trees. But then suddenly, an eye is there on the other side glaring back at you, but it is not a living eye. It is the glazed eye of the dead. Give me a sanity roll, please.
Oh, dear God. All right. Boom.
Nice. Congratulations.
You've seen dead eyes before.
All right, so
Looks like my wife's eyes.
so it's good too because the unrestful dead are a particular concern to Dark Ages investigators. So the sanity loss would have been pretty punishing, but since you succeeded, you don't lose any sanity. But of course, you're normally startled like you would be, and you take a step back. But then the scratching at the shutters turns into more forceful blows. What do you do,
Yeah.
Leofric?
I'll cry out.
Okay, so we'll
The
see
dead have
who,
risen. The dead have risen.
we'll see who
Dead
wakes with that initial one, and everybody give me a listen roll that's sleeping. Oh, damn.
Holy crap.
What is going on?
God.
Oh, Ethel.
And of course, the
warriors
fighter
sleep
doesn't wake
hard.
up. Yep.
So
We
yeah,
know
I'll
when
say
to
you.
flee.
Yeah, you guys.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
You guys were ready
As
to
soon
bolt.
as he said the dead had risen, you know the rich and the poor.
We were already climbing up the chimney.
So yeah, you guys come too, but Lothar, your role gives you some interesting advantage in this situation. I'm struggling to think of something that might help you out in the future. Is there anything that's come into your mind?
I guess it maybe hear if there's just the one point moving around outside.
No,
Or if it's
you
multiple points.
you actually hear scratching at the door that you put back in place. So there's another point of something trying to enter this. Something is scratching at the base of the door.
Okay, I'll call that out too, as there's more at the door as well.
Okay, so Leofric cried out. Lothar draws your attention to another point. Ethelwolf's still asleep. Opha, what are you going to do as you come to all this shouting?
I'll stand up and I'll ready my pitchfork and I'll stand slightly behind and to the right of Lothar. Where's it? Which one is
Yeah.
it? John, yeah.
Me.
Yeah. And give him kind of a shaky nod, like I'm scared, my eyes are wide, but I got his back and I know my lord will protect me.
As it should be.
Okay. All right, so there's another battering at this door. Let's see how the blinds.
Somebody wake up Aethelwolf.
Oops. Rolled it twice. Sorry about that.
Quickly.
Okay, so
for
but
the love of God.
the shutters hold, and at this stage, Ethelwolf starts to rouse, but it is back to you, Leofric. You can see that the shutters have held this against this attack on them, but you're not certain how long that will be the case.
I'm gonna run to the fireplace and see if I can get like a burning brand or something like that I can defend myself with.
Yeah, give me a luck roll. So we'll see if there's something like that in there.
My good skill.
Nice.
Should have had you look for ale.
It's that Leofric.
So yeah, what I'm looking for is like a branch that is burning on one side that I can hold on the other.
So
Make him
we'll
do constant luck rolls to not catch the house on fire.
I'll have you just set that up on while we're going through the turns here, and we'll just give it a 1d4 plus 1 damage. It does not impale, and
Highly
it has
flammable grease makes the best installation, my lord.
it has a higher chance
Sorry,
of
Travis.
breaking than most other weapons. Okay, so you grab up that brand, which
Wait
brings
a
us
minute.
back.
This isn't Breath of the Wild. Come on, man.
It would have broke when he picked it up. So Lothar, it's you've gotten to your feet. You see Opha's taking a stance there with his pitchfork. Leofric's grabbed a brand from the fire.
So
there's this
I will
scratching
heft
also
my
coming from the door.
Club
Okay, so you've also
and go
prepared yourself.
position myself near the door for when it fails to be able to swing with all might.
And Ethelwolf, you've come awake now. What is your move? You can kind of piece together. I'll say with an insight roll, you get exactly what the situation is in your grogginess. But go ahead and give me that insight real quick, and we'll see what you understand of the situation.
If he looks confused, I'll lay it out to him in detail. Holy crap.
Wow.
Nice.
He knows his combat situations.
I know exactly what's going on.
So yeah, Lothar seems to be
Undead, huh? I got
focused
this.
on the door, while the other two are looking at the shuttered west or east window, and you can see something bad is about to happen. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'll hop to my feet and get my axe and my shield ready.
Okay.
And I'll center myself in the room so that I can react to wherever they break through.
All right. The corpse on the other side of the shuttered window batters at those shutters again. They don't do well. It's holding for now, but it's splintering. You're sure that whoever they are going to have an easier time of it the next go around. And the scratching continues near the base. You're starting to see dirt sort of kick up as this little hole is forming. And that brings us back to you,
Is it
Leofric.
like he's
with
trying to
like something's
under it?
digging underneath it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it brings us back to you, Leofric. And in these homes, they have just kind of the dirt floor, at least one of this station.
I'm going to hide behind Ethelwolf.
You're knight errant.
Yeah.
Yes, so
bravely,
you position yourself in such a
Yeah,
way.
I'll be bravely clutching my brand as I hide behind him.
Okay, so Lothar, you see that the other thing is trying to dig under, so your barrier, it's not trying to attack your barrier, but circumvent it. What did you want to do?
All right. Well, yeah, I'll just ready until I see it pop up from under then. It's an even better scenario.
Okay. Which brings us back around to Ethelwolf. Maintaining your guard.
Yeah.
And I can assume the same of you as well, Ofa?
Yes.
All right, final. All right, so finally these shutters burst open, and there you see the corpse of the woman that had been, torn open from neck to navel. She's burst through those shutters and starts clambering through, her intestines hanging up on some of the jagged pieces of wood, getting caught there. So she's only partially through. For the rest of you, besides Leofric, go ahead and give me a sanity roll. Well done, Ofa.
Maybe I'll use
Thank you,
some
my lord.
luck for that. Can I?
Let me double check.
Good old Lofa.
Yeah, he's sturdy as the ox that he herds.
I'm almost
There are
dead,
corpses
too.
walking. It's normal.
Because if you're gonna be punishing with the undead sanity loss, I don't have that much to begin with.
So luck
Oh, great.
cannot be used on sanity rolls or rolls to determine how much sanity loss is lost, or damage rolls for that matter. So you're stuck with what you
Looks
got.
like you have another undead to contend with.
So
Can
who am
I use luck for my sanity roll?
You should let
So
him
for
do
those
it,
that
though.
why he's gonna go into a blood rage and kill everybody in here.
Crap.
So Lothar and Ethelwolf both lose a D8 sanity. As
Can
I
you
said,
make it less?
well, that depends. You can roll it less. Go ahead and do that. Just roll a 1 out there.
How do you do the backslash?
Oh, ouch, man.
It's a backslash R, yeah.
space, then 1d8.
Oh, I did it wrong.
I think you forgot that. Yeah.
I was trying to do the -7, so it would be a one. Didn't
Well
work.
done, Chris. Well done, Brandon.
that was a 1d1. That was just me.
Oh,
messing
okay.
around.
Just messing around.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks
Went
like John.
from 33 to 26 sanity.
So
I
yes,
lost 2.
for those of you that, I guess Brandon lost 2, so you don't have a bout of madness, but our trader does, as he lost 7, more than 5 in one go. Let's see what we get for him. All right, so as this corpse is struggling through, her intestines being pulled further out of her body, being caught on jagged pieces of the shutter, Lothar just faints dead away. Collapses to the ground.
Yeah,
My
that's
lord's playing
understandable.
awesome.
Man.
That's a smart move. So that's going to last for 1d10 rounds. John, you can roll that out.
I wonder if I should just lay down now, too.
7 again.
So how much did I lose any sanity, Travis?
You didn't fail it, did you? So
No, you
it was
succeeded,
0
There
for
can still be
success.
sand loss with that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Nope. In this case, you did not lose any. And that was the enemy's action,
lose
but
any?
all of you guys are
Maybe.
ready to attack that didn't faint. So if your plan
he's
is to
just
attack,
muted.
I'll go ahead and... Oh,
Who
sorry.
did we lose?
Yeah, he's muted.
Travis?
Is somebody punching in?
Probably.
Sorry about that. Nobody... No, I just accidentally hit the hotkey for my mute.
Oh.
So, sorry about that. So, yeah, so you'll be fainted for 7 rounds. That was the...
What a loser.
This is the best way to fight, though. Not
Our-
just avoid it completely and leave it to you guys.
Restless Dead is partially through this window, which brings us back to the top of the round. And
Wait, do I fall in such a way that I land over where that thing is going to burst up?
Give me a luck roll. Good idea.
Yes.
So yes, your head is laying at the bottom of the door where you'd put it
Lord. Going to block the entrance up yourself.
So, Leofric, if your plan is to attack with that brand, then you do have a bonus die for preparing yourself to do so. At least this round.
I'm actually just going to be, kind of holding it out in front of me in fear.
Okay. Waving it around.
Start touching it to things.
All right, which brings us to Lothar, who mumbles in his... Oh, what did that do?
Round 1.
Oh, I see what I did. Hold on just a sec. I had it set up a little wrong. It was adding 7 instead of 1. Okay, so Ethelwolf, you are also ready to attack. So you have a bonus die to that roll if that is what you decide to do.
Wonder what the slave is doing now.
Yeah, he's gotten up and he's skittered to the far end, the other window, and he's just plastered himself against the wall there. Just his eyes are totally insane. But Ethelwolf, you also were ready to fight something, so you have a bonus die if you plan to attack this round.
Yeah, I do. I'll because of that sanity loss there, I'll do that scream that goes more high pitched than your voice is actually capable of. And, out of sheer panic, and I'll swing my axe at her head.
All right, go ahead and
Lord, cry me, Lord.
go ahead and make your attack.
It's like when a spider crawls across your nutsack, that kind of scream.
Right. I never experienced that, but I can imagine.
Jesus, man.
We'll know when you do.
Right.
Nice.
But only 2 damage.
Oh.
Oh, he's got his bonus die. So 55 or 45. So 45 is your best. Let's see. She's going to claw at you as you approach and attack her. She'll try to fight back, but she is not successful. But her clawing kind of renders your blow a glancing blow, and you just chip out a bit of flesh on her forearm.
Defensive wounds on her.
Yeah. Which also brings us to Ofa, who was prepared with his pitchfork to attack. So once again, you have a bonus die if you choose to attack this round.
All right. So I asked if I lost any sanity on the success.
Oh,
so
right. When I was, muted. No, you didn't.
Okay. All right. I'm going to actually say to Lothar, a very wise decision, my lord, very brave of you, and step over him towards the window and help out. Was it Aelwulf? Is that his name?
Ethelwolf, yeah.
Ethelwolf. All right. So combat. This and then penalty. Looks like the 94 will go. All right. Yep.
So you got a 94 and a 24?
No. Yeah. But it's a penalty, so the 94.
Oh, right. You had a bonus.
It's a bonus.
So you're
Bonus
it's just your
penalty.
it's just your base roll because you had a bonus for getting prepared,
okay, I see
and
what
you
you're
have your
saying.
penalty for working
So
out
94.
using your farm skill. So yeah, it was just you just miss her, and it glances off the wooden wall there. But she's actually trying to fight back at you. So we'll say she's grabbing at your pitchfork as it's coming in at her, see if she can get a hold of one of the tines. But because she's defending herself against Ethelwolf, she'll be doing this at a penalty. It doesn't really matter. We'll see if she fumbles, though. Nope. So she just didn't get a hold of it, and you're able to draw your pitchfork back for another attack, which brings us around to Leofric.
Let's see here. I probably would have noticed that Lothar has fainted, and I will grab his foot and start trying to drag him away from the door.
That's what I would have done if I succeeded at my intelligence roll.
Yeah, when you go to do that, you see that the hole that's being dug under the door is big enough that a snout is pushed itself under there. I can't push the whole body yet. This is not the large wolf. This appears to be maybe a dog, but it's sort of snapping at the little bits of hair that were poking out of the top of Lothar's head. But he's just not close enough to reach him, and you drag him away from that. So yeah, good call.
Thank you, I would say, if I was awake.
All
You're
right,
being
that's you.
stoic.
Okay, so this dead woman pushes her way through that window. She's kind of rolling like around to land on her feet, and that sort of loops some of her intestines around her arm, plus the ones that are snatched on the window. But when she lands on her feet, she screams at you and starts running at, I suppose this would be Ethelwolf, since he has taken the lead role. So she's got like intestines looped around her arm that are stuck on the entryway to this building in there. So she almost looks like some macabre marionette as she lunges at you. Let's see how she does.
Oh,
Jesus.
Ooh.
All right, Brandon. So yeah, she's lunged at you, seeking to deal you some damage here. You have a couple options. You can dodge. You can use your shield skill to dodge and absorb perhaps all of the damage, or you could fight back, in which case your shield still might absorb some of the damage, and you, if you can defeat her hard success with an extreme, would be the one dealing damage this round. What did you want to do?
Yeah, I'll use my shield to try to block it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your shield skill. Yeah, I think that does it. So you get your shield up in front. Or wait, hold on. I think we have to check degrees of success. So she got a hard, and the attacker, and you got a regular. So the attacker technically wins the combat, but in this case, you're using your shield. So your shield armor is subtracted from the attacker's damage, which you rolled 2. So you subtracted 2 from her 6, which brings it down to a 4. Now you're also wearing leather armor, if you want to roll that for me. So it brings it down to just 2 damage gets through. So you blunt most of her attack with the shield, and she gets a hold of you and just is like biting at you, but it's not really doing much. It's just she partially gets your leather and your neck, where she's biting into that joint between your shoulder and your neck there.
Okay.
And it deals you 2 damage. So Lothar is sleeping. Brings us to Ethelwolf. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, so I guess I'll just attack her back with
Okay.
my axe.
biter.
All right, go ahead and roll it out. Do you want to use any luck?
Push it. Or luck.
Yeah, I'll use my luck. I'll use 13 luck.
Okay. To make it a regular success.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you swing your axe down, which is enough to deal a major wound, and you're just kind of going down for that overhand swing into her shoulder, and it, you lop that limb off, her right arm off, and it just clambers to the ground, but otherwise she doesn't seem too disturbed by it. Ofa.
Can I attack into that melee without having to worry about it's short of like a critical fail, like accidentally hitting
Yeah, in this case it works in your favor because she will get penalty dies on trying to defend against you.
All right. So we'll try it again. All right, 44 or an 80, so a fail.
Okay.
Can I aid Brandon?
You could we'll say you can drop the penalty if you're just trying to distract her in some way. And we'll go with that 44.
Yeah,
You're just not doing any damage with it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to tie her up.
Okay. All right. Well, she's going to try to come back at you. Of course, it's at penalty for her. She isn't. Again, she grasps with her one good arm at that pitchfork of yours to try to grab it out of your hands, but she's not able to do it.
Is the severed arm still moving? What type of undead are these?
Yeah. Let's see here. Well, we can have an intelligence roll or an insight roll, whatever you're better at.
Oh no, I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to see if the arm's still moving or not.
Yeah, it is moving. It's
What do you want? Insight?
Yeah.
My intelligence is better.
Well, you can tell that cutting her limbs off is not hurting her. But you know that most things, still need a head to function, at least. You're not sure if the body would be able to move around. So that's a little bit of information you have in your head, which actually brings it back around to her turn. She'll, again, be focused on Ethelwolf, but she's impaired at the loss of that arm, so she's attacking with a penalty. She does even better with the penalty, so she's got a hard success against you, Brandon. How'd you want to defend yourself this time?
Yeah, I'll use my shield again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Extreme
Nice.
success. So you block all the damage. You just push her hand away with that shield, and she stumbles back a little bit. Leofric, so the last thing you did was you dragged Lothar across the floor and away from the door. You can see the animal there has gone back to scratching a deeper hole, enough that it can get through, but it still has a little ways to go. What are you doing next?
Does it ever like put its head down in the hole, like as it tries to wiggle through or something like that?
Yeah, it's checking every now and then, but at this point, you don't even see its eyes. It'll get snout a little bit of the way through, and
Okay.
and it'll go back to digging. And there's some
Yeah.
whining coming from the creature.
So I'm gonna, wait till it tries to fit its head under the door, and then, jab it in the nose with the burning brand.
Okay, I will say that is possible, but because it's kind of only there, rapidly and briefly, that it will be at a penalty.
Okay.
So we just got a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your attempt actually, because that's a fumble failure, it actually breaks the brand into fragments, and the coals, the burning coals, kind of spark everywhere to the ground. Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Awesome. I'm gonna set this place on fire.
You're going to set Lothar on fire.
Burn
nice.
me.
No, so it's like I said, this is an earthen floor, so it's just a bunch of sparks on the dirt of the earth, and a few of them dwindle like almost immediately, but there's still a few burning chunks. The main thing is you just don't have the brand as a functionable weapon anymore, as it's fragmented.
Okay. Yeah, I'll yell
Got
over
a
my
club.
shoulder that there's a dog trying to dig underneath the door.
So you hear that, Ethelwolf. You hear, maybe you don't pick out the exact thing he's shouting for, but you do hear Leofric shouting for something behind you as you're still engaged with this undead woman. What would you like to do?
Yeah, that'll have to wait, and I'll keep swinging at her.
All right, because Ofo is helping you a little bit, you can go and add a bonus die to your roll.
Nice.
So it pushes it into the hard success. She'll try to get back at you, but is unable to do anything. I suppose, let's see what happens this time. So she kind of dodges back a little bit, and you bring your axe down, severing her leg at the calf so that her foot drops off to the floor, and then she stumbles down on her face. But, you can see she's still trying to get up,
Yeah.
but she's struggling with her missing limbs at this point. Ofa.
All right. I'll look back at Leothar?
Leofric, yeah.
Leofric. There we go. Sorry. You and John will soon merge in my common brain. And so he was shouting something. So I'll kind of look at him, see what he's doing.
Yeah, if you focus your attention on him, you can tell he's trying to point out that this animal is trying to get in under the door. And as you look at it, you can see it's furiously digging at it, and its snout pokes through. In this case, you see the dead eyes of the hound. You think it's probably the very same one you saw in the tree. It's got its head like wedged under the door, but it still needs some clearance for its body.
All right. So I'll go over there and I'll try to hit it when its head's coming under the door, and I'll try to pin it with the
Okay.
pitchfork.
All right.
Keep from digging. So you want to
Yeah,
roll
so-
on that, or do you want me to wait?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. It's a penalty as well because of the circumstance, so you're looking at a double penalty on it.
Ooh, it's going to be fun. All right. So there's 1, 2,
54?
3.
Oh, and 4. So regular
Nice.
success.
So
and,
strength check to pin it?
Well, we're going to see how it does.
Okay.
So let's see here. Yeah, so it's you definitely got your tines through its neck at the back of its skull, and it's like pinned there, and it's whimpering. But you're not sure if it's because of the pain. It's more like it just really wants to get in here. Like maybe dog seeing the food on the other side of some place it can't get by, where it'll just sit there and whimper at it. but you have it pinned there for now. So as long as you maintain this, you should be good.
All right.
I'll have you. We'll do strength checks, and as long as you don't fumble, you can keep it held down there.
Okay.
All right. So the dead woman, it clambers up on one knees, swiping at Ethelwolf, but failing.
Badly. Dang.
Almost fumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So Leofric, you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
You
she attacks me, do I get to, like...
Right, yeah. Yeah, you can
Attack her
decide to attack back if you want to.
And that's just a normal axe roll?
Yep.
I got a hard success. Because I'm hard. So I've chopped off 3 limbs of this woman so far. Why can't I not aim for her head?
You can. I'm just waiting for you to. If you want to change that, you have to add a penalty to it.
It's okay.
To make it a head hit.
We'll say I'm too panicked at this point to think clearly, so I'm just swinging wildly.
So what do you call a woman with no arms and legs on the dirt floor? I don't know. Somebody think of the punchline to that joke. But anyhow, off goes her left leg. You axe it off. She seems unperturbed by the loss of these limbs.
Uh-huh.
And so Leofric, you had successfully called over Opha to help you, and it seems as though he's pinned the animal at the base of the door there with his pitchfork, but it is your action. Yep. Can't get away from you, though. Do you hear me, Justin?
Yep. Sorry, I was trying to think. Is there anything I can... Well, it broke off all the fire, but do I still kind of have a club version?
No, not even really that. It's splintered like vertically,
Okay.
so what you have left wouldn't really be useful for anything but kindling.
All right, I'll try and find any kind of makeshift club or weapon or knife or anything that I can see at hand.
All right, go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Can we talk out of turn, or is it only?
No, that's fine. You can go ahead.
I've been trying to think of how Opha would quantify having to kill the brain, and I'm trying to link it back to religion in some way. So if you can think of something, or if anyone can think of anything, I was thinking like,
my
maybe
lord, everybody knows the souls in the head.
Yeah, like the Lord resides in the crown, or something like that. The Spirit of the Lord. So yeah, that's what I'll say. I was like, like, my lord, the Spirit of the Lord resides in the crown. And, kind of.
It is known.
It is known.
Yeah, so, Opha's saying that as he's struggling to keep this beast held pinned at the base of the door. Meanwhile, Leofric, you've cast about for a weapon. You don't see one nearby, but you do remember the knife that the woman who's now attacking you was holding. It was on the floor, so it's still there. So you could spend your action to go get it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So Lothar's up to 4 rounds, snoring around. He's got a pleasant look on his face, like kind of a dreamy smile as all this chaos is going about. So Ethelwolf, you have Ophus, telling you some good Christian knowledge that everyone knows the seat of the soul is in the head.
There you go. I like
and
that.
To free this woman,
Yeah.
you'll have to destroy her head.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there's nothing left to aim for now anyway, so...
Well, you got like lower body, upper body.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll aim for her neck.
Okay.
Try to
Go ahead
chop
and...
her head off.
Yeah, that's just going to have a penalty on the roll. In this case, since she's down on the ground, I suppose they cancel it out because you have an advantage for standing over your opponent. So just a regular roll to hit the head.
I'll spend an action to take aim, so I get a bonus.
Do you want to do that?
No. Is that a thing in this?
I think it is with shooting. I'm not sure if it works for melee, but...
All right, yeah, I'll just try to chop her head off.
All right, let's see how you do.
Success, and then a penalty, you said? Or no?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Let me just...
She catches it in her teeth.
So she's got 2 penalties.
Oh, dang.
So 33 so she got a regular success, so it goes to Brandon. So yeah, you I was going to go with Chris's idea there. That would be very Evil Dead, but
That'd be Sam Raimi stuff right there.
yeah. In this case, you bring your axe down, freeing her head and thus the seat of her soul from her body, and her corpse finally goes quiet.
Oh, thank
However-
God. That would have been a sand loss for him if it hadn't, for Opa.
Right.
Yeah.
However, Opha, you're still struggling with this beast, and he remains to be dealt with. What did you want to do?
I'll continue to keep him pinned.
All right, so go ahead and give me that strength check.
Success.
Yep, you got him there. So he's pinned there, can't do much else. Brings it back to Leofric, who's found the wife's knife and picked it up, covered in this black ichor, but it's still a knife. What are you going to do after that?
I'm going to try and stab the dog in the head.
All right, so you can use your fighting brawl skill for your knife.
Okay. That's not much help. Oh, sorry. That first one was a...
Do you want to spend
27.
luck on that?
Yeah, I'll spend the 2 luck.
Okay. So I don't have it set up, but it's D4 plus your damage bonus if you have any.
No damage bonus. So, D4.
It's the hit points on this hound. Okay, so it's not quite enough to deal a major wound to it, but you stick your knife into the neck of the beast, and we'll leave you at that stage right there. Or you can just plunge it in and pull it back, whichever you prefer.
I'm pretty frantic, so I'll be kind of...
Stabbing.
Doing that frantic, just stabbing it as fast as I can.
It's like glancing off parts of its skull or something. Or
Yeah.
how much did you do?
Or, even sometimes probably, bouncing off the tines of the pitchfork or something like that, or just missing it completely and going into the dirt.
So Lothar interrupts his snoring to say or mumble, "It's a curse, I swear, a curse." Brings us back to Ethelwulf. So looking around, you can see both Opha and Leofric dealing with this hound that's trying to get under the door, whose head is pinned there. It's actually set up pretty well for an executioner's blow.
Yeah, I'll go over and do that. I'll aim for its head and chop into it.
All right, I'll just let's just roll for damage in this case, since the position Opha has it in. If you fumble, then you'll miss. But
What was that, 2 damage?
yeah,
I could have swore that isn't there supposed to be like a
Size.
damage
Bonus
bonus or a
Yeah.
strength or...
you rolled a 1d6 plus a 1d4. You just rolled 1 on both of them.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So with the 3 damage, it's not quite. You got it like halfway cut off, but it's still sort of snapping around. But its head just can't move very far. Opha, strength check.
All right. Oh, no.
It's not a fumble though, but we'll see.
All right.
Leofric stabbing with the knife again.
Yep. Nope.
No luck.
Not this
But
time.
you have a bonus on it.
Oh, okay.
Worse.
Yep, worse.
Okay.
How
And
much
I'll-
can he mangle this dog's face before we have to start worrying about sanity?
Quite a bit. You guys probably mangle animals for fun. It's the Dark Ages.
Opha, what you doing? I'm just taking his hatchet
Just
to this cow.
mangling a dog. Oh, can I do it? My turn.
As I'm doing this, it'll occur to me that there was more than one corpse out there.
Right.
That the man's corpse is out there as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll say, did the man come back to attack as well?
All right, so Leofric asked that question to the people in the room, which is what you hear, Ethelwulf, as you're lining up your next axe blow. You can roll that out if you'd like.
Okay. Just the damage again, or?
Yeah, I mean, roll the skill, because it'll do the damage as well. Man, why are you... a 2 and a 1. You rolled a... makes it more interesting. But this is actually... You've dealt enough damage to its head between you and Leofric that, you keep chopping at it and you're just down to this, a bit of the spine and some fragments of flesh, and this blow just goes right through that. And that seems to steal the beast from hell and the farmhouse goes quiet with 2 of the unrestful dead brought back to their proper rest, and you guys looking at one another, and we'll have to finish up the hunt next time we get together. So thanks for playing, guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
great.
man.
Thanks,
man.
Thanks.
It's fun.
It was, really, really fun episode there.
Dude, yeah, you showed how brave your character was by just laying down there, daring them to attack
exactly. I encouraged the hell dog to dig faster and set you guys up for perfect execution.
you. Yep.
Well,
Thank-
now I'm imagining that Lothar has done this in the past, and he doesn't think he faints. He just thinks he can time travel to the other side of a bad situation, because he
Well,
literally would have woken up in the next round, and the problem's been dealt with. So he's going to come to.
So it's a blackout rage that I go into is what I figure. Yep. Really, it's just fainting, waking up after combat.
Now, one thing I'm curious, because we've been doing the Call of Cthulhu and now we did some combat in this one, is one of the optional rules they have is it's called no fail combat, which means no matter what happens in a clash, somebody's going to hit. And instead of your failure becoming a failure and nothing happens, it just becomes kind of like a degree of success. So in order for somebody to dodge a failure, they just have to not fumble. But your failure will beat somebody's fumble, or it'll beat another failure of an equal or lower skill, that sort of thing. It just always ensures we're not, because it's always been a problem, like from D&D, any game that has melee combat where there's a lot of swinging around, nothing happening. Right, ineffective. I don't have a problem with it, but sometimes it can be frustrating. I know if that's like your one thing. The downside meaning that you'll probably die a lot more frequently because somebody's going to be hitting somebody. But it's just something to think about. Yeah, that works for sure. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.